I didn't get to go to the Lake District after all. Various reasons, one of which is my incompetence because I forgot to do something. My wife has been in Italy, and she was going from Italy to a music course in this country. And she asked me to post the music for this weekend to a friend who was also going, so she wouldn't have to take it to Italy with her. And I forgot. Now, I thought that I could put this right because I would pass this place on the way to, past this friend's house on the way up to the Lake District, and I could drop it off there and that would all be sorted. But it seems that the friend's house was up in Yorkshire and it wasn't quite so convenient to drop into. And so the possibility came I could maybe post it overnight, but then again, it's going to this friend's house. I don't know when she's leaving. I don't have any way of contacting her. I don't know who she is, even, because I wasn't at home. I could send it to the venue, but again, I didn't know where that was until I got home. So I went home. I told my wife my dilemma, and she didn't get back, which is par for the course. Didn't get back until in the evening, which was past the possible posting time for either of the friend's house or the venue, leaving me with, well, no option but to drive to the venue. So it's 2 hours drive, something like that. Drop the music off and come back. And it wasn't until that evening that it became apparent that, well, when I got to the venue, they said the course didn't start until Friday, today, which meant this is information I hadn't been given. I understood it was starting yesterday. But starting today, I could have posted it. I could have posted it either to the friend or to the venue. So I wasted half a day, 5 hours going to deliver this thing. And okay, I don't mind. It's my mistake. I was putting it right. Didn't get any thanks though. Not a word. Didn't hurt anything. But never mind. Never mind at all. I haven't been to the lakes. I was looking forward to going because there was going to be 3 or 4 days of clear sun. And when I'm there, I have the garden, private garden. I can be in the sun as much as I like. And the garden is, I say private, it's visible from the quiet road. And you get a few walkers along there, but at the end of the day, I'm in a private garden. I'm not exposing myself, and if they happen to look in and see me, that's their problem, not mine. But I didn't go. Why didn't I go? Because I came to visit my friend last week at her, I say, suggestion, probably insistence, for the weekend, and we have had a wonderful time doing some videos and helping her with various things with the chickens and stuff like that. And as it went into this week, I don't assume that I'm welcome to stay because I know that it's her house. She likes her privacy, as indeed I do. And so I always give her the opportunity to say, no, I don't want you here anymore. But she kept saying, oh, you can stay another day. You can stay tonight. Have another trip. Stay tonight. And so I did. And then on a day when I'd thought I was going to go, a tenant in one of the farm buildings had parked their car so I couldn't get out. And I had some things to do, so I borrowed her car instead. and came back, my car still blocked in. And then that was the day, or the following day, when I got the message about, where's my music? Where's my bloody music? So that took over. And so I've been here. And it's been good. But there was an interesting development last night. B, we'll say, is in the course of an homeopathy remedy. And as a result of this, or because of this, she's been avoiding having any plant medicines. But during my absence yesterday morning, when I was delivering this pesky music, she decided rather randomly to take some. So I got back, and although she initially denied it, it was very obvious what she'd done. And she was so happy. It was wonderful. I was really pleased because she was happy. She'd finished a big job she was doing for someone, and it needed to be packed and posted. So she was really pleased, and she was just such a joyous mood. It was a real joy to behold for me. But there was it came to pass that there were some problems with the paperwork, customs paperwork for this parcel, which caused her some issues trying to sort it out, and I tried to help. Should I have just left her to it? I don't know, because she then had one of these mood changes to which she's prone. And I don't know, I think, should I just go and leave her? I didn't, I stayed around. And it causes some awkwardness and discomfort. But what was good, really positive, is that over food in the evening, we were able to talk about it, which is something I can never do at home because I'm reluctant to talk. But if anything comes up, it's not negotiable. It's not a give and take or possible a bad element of lunch, but I'll talk about that later if I remember. But we talked about it. It's still a bit of an atmosphere, still there this morning. And she's been out. Well, I've been out this morning as well. And we've communicated a bit. And there's still a bit of misunderstanding and tension around it, but hopefully it's something we can talk about. Anyway, that's all good. I'm still here. As far as I know, I'm still here tonight, but I will ask out of courtesy. No, I went out and to the local town, which I don't use often, and one of the reasons I don't go there often is because it's awful. Yes, dear reader, it is awful. It's just one of the most shocking people. That's me being judgmental. Anyway, I went and did my business and thought, I fancy some lunch. Where do you go for lunch? Because I'm a little bit fussy about this. There's a place I know, a garden nearby, which has changed hands. And I've had very nice food there before. So I went and had some quiche, which was nice. A couple of salads. One was nice. One had mint in it, which wasn't quite so nice. But on a whim, I followed it up with a piece of chocolate beetroot cake. And it was disgusting. Just thinking about it makes waves of nausea pass over me. I never learn. Cakes out are at best disappointing, at worst revolting. And this was, I'm sure it was a very nice cake, that people would like it, but it just didn't work for me. texture, the chocolateness were just so wrong. And I knew that after the first mouthful. But being me, I soldiered on and ate the whole lot. Waves of nausea at each mouthful. Anyway, I'm back home. Well, not home. I'm at the house in which I'm staying. And I've had some zeolite, which might help me. But I think any second now I'm going to have to stop because my friend's going to be coming home. And why am I worried about this? It's being overheard, doing something about which I'm very self-conscious. I recorded a lengthy 1-hour video, which I might post if I'm brave, but it's not very edifying, during an experience with some plant medicine the other night. But I was whispering and mumbling the whole way through because I was afraid that she would hear me upstairs, they'd hear me next door. And then when she came home and playing with the piano, I was afraid, came in, down, and played the piano, I was again afraid that she'd hear me or I would interrupt her flow of piano playing. So I kept quiet. Or I didn't keep quiet, I mumbled. So the video, which might have been unedifying anyway, but it would be interesting, is inaudible. I am apparently audible during the piano recording, which she's posted online, although I can't hear it myself. I don't know where this came from. Oh, diffidence, being overheard. Big thing for me. So when she comes home, which could be any moment now, I'll have to stop this. What can I do with this self-consciousness? It isn't particularly relevant, but it is a real burden. If I think I'm going to be overheard in a room, out somewhere, in a cafe, at a market, I have to really guard what I say. I don't have to, I feel I have to really guard what I say and speak sufficiently lowly that I can't be overheard. You see, now I'm aware the landlords may be somewhere next door, unable to hear what I'm saying. So I'm talking in, my normal talking voice is quiet, but I'm talking more quietly than my normal talking voice. What is this about? Why should anyone listen to me? What am I afraid of? Being judged on what I'm saying? Saying the wrong thing? Don't know, this has been with me as long as I can remember. The whole idea of making noise and people hearing. Have I talked about this before? Raising voice, shouting? Can't do it. We recorded a soundtrack for a video which is online, which involved sound effects from some website. And we were recording this, and she started doing screams to fit in with this video. And I thought, well, why not? So I started doing roaring, and I thought it was so loud. And playing it back, it's not. It's pathetically quiet. And then during the video, I felt inspired to vocalize my role. And again, I thought I was being really loud. At one point, or 2 points, I thought I was, in fact, shouting my words to be heard over this music track. But again, it's barely audible on the video. So even when I'm trying to be loud, I can't do it. It is something I can learn. voice projection. I did put a little bit of thought into it, but like everything else, life takes over and it gets left by the wayside. I need to work on it. I can do it for brief periods in conversation with either my wife or with B, but nowhere else. But I found listening back to recordings, it doesn't work. Partly it's because I still can't stand the sound of my voice. I'm a lot happier with it than I have been in the past, and that is solely as a result of recording these videos. The first time I heard my voice, have I said this before? With the advent of the cassette recorder in the 70s, or should I say the intrusion of the cassette recorder into my parents' house in the early 70s, and the shock and horror at hearing my voice. Does everyone go through this? I don't know. I certainly did. But I think prior to that, I'd had the difficulties with speaking out. So it doesn't stem from that, but that has reinforced it. And then I hear my voice in my head, and it's awful. And when I've taken plant medicine, my voice again becomes different. I don't like that. I don't like what it becomes. But I am happier with it and more relaxed with it as a result of this. It's still not great. Sorry, I'm fidgeting a lot with my hand. It's still not great. And sometimes it sounds better than others. And how do we get to this point? Being heard. That's one aspect. I don't like my voice. But there's also the being heard part. And the inability to shout. And when I have tried to shout and call people, again, I feel I'm being loud, but it's little more than a conversational voice. Something I needed to work on. But it isn't just volume, it's actually using my voice as well. Because if I try and project my voice, I get quite a lot of discomfort in my throat, vocal cords, throat, somewhere here, which persists. In fact, after that brief roaring soundtrack, I think, so I get a yawn. That's another thing I need to learn, to yawn and let go. But the day after the soundtrack video, my voice was very hoarse. Sorry, I did record a video saying that, I think. Seems a long time ago now. Being heard. There have been times in situations which could be seen as not emergencies, but things where action is needed. Being heard can either solve or prevent issues. I can't do it. And it is has long been a worry of mine that if I would for some reason need to call out. For example, I saw someone stepping into a road and there was a car coming, and I'd need to shout to alert their attention. I know I can't do that. Now you, listener, will say, oh yes you will find your voice in that situation. I haven't been in a life or death situation like that, but I have been in similar ones where I have been unable to find that voice. It either doesn't come out at all, or it just comes out as a little pathetic little teeny mouse squeak. And I would like to learn to overcome that. I need to learn to project my voice. That is part of it, because projecting it hurts. I try shouting or singing when I'm driving and I know no one can hear me. And within very few minutes, it's happening now. Probably because I'm not speaking in my normal voice. It's throttled back a bit. I don't know. Is that going to be any better if I'm doing that? No, because I can feel that push, that strain in my throat already. So I need to do something to learn to find the range of my voice where this can work. But the being heard also. I keep saying but, and but for starting sentences, and but and so. Just stop it. Where was I? Being heard, projecting voice, sounds, accompanying friends' tones, and nothing comes out. My vocal range has decreased, and even within that range there are places where it just won't come out. I can't make a sound. The sound is in my head, but I can't make it come out. Time to go.